old Turkey Master here. It rained today here in the Smokies. I thought it'd be a good day to do a video. I'm getting ready for turkey season. It's not far off. I got my wing bone called here, boy made for me. I like to at least have 2 calls with me. Sometimes I take 3 or 4. I'm not really very good with a diaphragm, so but I can use a wing bone pretty good. Sound something like it. If you try one call, you got a turkey out there gobbling, and he don't answer that call, he's probably call shy. And a good example of that, one of my boys is hunting on a military base, and them birds get pressured pretty good bit. And he tried these mouth calls, and the bird didn't respond. And just so happened he had his old dad Jerry White box call with him. And he got it out and hit it. And the turkey gobbled. They hit it again and then the turkey double gobbled. Well, when the bird come in, it seen him move, I guess, and spooked. And the bird took off going another direction. Well, he circled and got to what he called the military high ground and got up above him and hit the box call again. Turkey gobbled. Well, when he gobbled, another turkey gobbled. He had picked up another gobbler somewhere along the way. And both birds come in, and just as soon as a head come up over the ridge there, he shot it. Well, it had the ancient half spurs. That bird's been hunted before, probably been hunted several times, and got spooked from a mouth call. So I always carry 2 or 3 calls. That's just common knowledge. But what I want to talk about is the old days, back when we went hunting, fishing. We didn't have any campers. We didn't have no tents. We didn't have no sleeping bags. If you was lucky, you could pick up one of them World War II down sleeping bags. But we just took a quilt, got one of your mama's quilt, went out, and my dad, he didn't call it camping, he called it laying out. And where he got that from, when he was a boy, they ranged cattle and hogs in the mountains. You'd notch your hog's ears, and fall the year you'd take your dog and get with your neighbors and go round them up. And you just lay down on the creek bank and sleep. And I remember when he went, he took a half-gallon mason jar, one full of flour and one full of lard. And that's what we took. If we caught a fish, we could fry it. He could make biscuits and gravy. We didn't go to the store and load up on all a bunch of groceries, you know. And we just eat what we had. And may take a tater, and we cook them taters in the fire. We just put them in the ashes and bake them in the fire. And wipe the ashes off of them and eat them. I just thought it was the best food in the world. Well, I still make these are pickled tomatoes, little green Tommy toes is what we used to call them in the old days. Them old heirloom maters come up from seed. And you'd have your maters here, and some of them would die and fall off. Well, the next year, if you've seen one or two sprouts, that'd be tomatoes. They're just small tomatoes. And my dad used to make eggs, and so I started making them. My boys loved them, so they wanted me to put the recipe on the internet where they could get it. One thing you got to do, you need to plant you 2 or 3 cherry tomatoes plants, because that's the one thing you can't buy is little green tomatoes. You got to grow them. If you live in the city, you can get you a planter and put it in the backyard, and they're easy to grow. I grow them. I pick and your tomatoes will start getting ripe about the same time the peppers do. And I always wait till a few of the peppers turn red. I pick them, wash them, put them in a jar. And I'll put me 5 or 6 cayenne peppers in there. Now you can use jalapenos. You'll have to use a few more because they're not near as hot, depending on what kind of heat you want. Pack them in the jar, and if you notice, I've got a few carrots in there. Just for the color. I just like having a little color in the jar. All green looks pretty bland looking. But I put spices, just dill pickle, kind of spices. And I put them in half vinegar and half water. So it's 50-50 on the water vinegar solution. Put them in there, put my lid on it, my band, and I set them in just an open canner. I don't pressurize them. I just do a hot water bath. You got a lot of vinegar in there, it's got acid, it's going to help preserve them. And then you get them boiling. If you look in most cookbooks, canning books, it'll tell you how long. I can't remember the exact time. You boil them for so many minutes with the lid on. I tighten the band, not super tight, but pretty tight. And when they get through with the time, you cut it off and take your jars out and set them up and let them cool. I think on these you can buy a pack at the grocery store that says pickle spices, and it's got dill and everything. That's what I use, and I put a little garlic. You can put some garlic powder, some onion powder, or even, 2 or 3 cloves of garlic in there. Just fix them how you like them. But them boys, they'll eat a whole jar of these at a set, and they love them. They go good with beans, whatever you eat. So that's what I take to turkey camp. You always got to take your little grub to turkey camp. So I take a jar of these and I go to Ohio, and we'll cook on the grill. We may have hamburgers or whatever. And when I kill a turkey, a lot of people, they say just breast him, this and that. I skin my turkeys. I cut the tail off. I cut the legs off at the joint. I cut the head off, and then I skin them. And what reason I skin them, if there's any shot in the breast or anything, most of the time there's not, because I always aim at the head. But you can get them shot. When that shot goes in, it'll take a feather in with it, and you won't get that out. And then I cut them back at the bottom of the breast and break them open and clean the internals out. And I leave them whole. I'll wash that up good, and I'll put him in a good freezer bag and put him in the freezer. And Thanksgiving comes around, Christmas, I'll stuff that bird just like a butterball. Now, seeing how I skinned him, there's no fat on him. And wild turkey is lean anyhow. So I may put a little bacon, some butter to give that bird some moisture where he won't just dry out. And I cook them in the oven just like a Thanksgiving bird, and I put a meat thermometer in them, make sure they're done. And that's how I fix my wild turkeys. It's a little more trouble, but to me it's more enjoyable at mealtime. Now's the time to get your gear ready, go through your bag, your hunting vest, make sure your shotgun's clean, got plenty of shell. Right now I've been scouting a lot. The gobblers are not with the hens yet, and the hens hadn't come in our area here. We had a real bad cold snap about a week ago, and it froze a lot of stuff. But the hens will come in when the greenery comes up, and they start getting a little vitamin A from the greens. And then the gobblers will start. I'd say another week to 2 weeks, the gobblers will be a gobbling good. So I've seen 1 or 2 birds, so I'm going to cross my fingers and hope I get one of them opening morning. That's all I got today. Old Turkey Master out.